Okay. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Bethor. Both are in person and our viewers on YouTube. It's nice to have you join us. We have a busy night tonight. We're celebrating lots of things. I do want to remind you that next week is 4th of July weekend. The fireworks booth will be open all weekend. If you haven't signed up to work, call Mike Kravitz. If you live in the La Mirada area and you're allowed to have fireworks, please don't buy them anywhere else but our booth. That's the biggest fundraiser of the year for us. We're celebrating a lot this year. These gorgeous, beautiful flowers in front of me are sponsored by Jeff and Sandy Strauss in honor of their 50th anniversary, Mazel Tov. The virtual flowers are sponsored by Chris and myself in honor of our 48th anniversary. We're also celebrating birthdays tonight. Carol Brennan and Jeff and Sandy Strauss are co-sponsoring the ONIG in honor of their special events. So Mazel Tov to all of you. We'll be calling you up here in just a little while. Rabbi Mark is on vacation this week, enjoying some time at a state campground on the beach. Sounds marvelous. And of course, our cantor hasn't started yet. She's supposed to start next Friday. I encourage you all to please attend in person to get to know her. Please wear your name badges so she can get to know who we are. Looking forward to welcoming Cantor Stacy Morris, but in the meantime, here I am doing double duty tonight. And I will turn this over to our lay leader, David Youngman.
Thank you very much, Cantor Dina Jastrock, and President, Madame President.
One more week.
You wear so many hats. One more week, right? Okay, I'd like to mention we have some greetings from Shabbat greetings from Sergio Sanchez Guzman, Rita and Bob Rubin, and Jeff and Wilma Shear. ONIG sponsors, you've mentioned. Virtual flowers, you've mentioned. You've taken care of everything. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to this exciting, sold-out crowd of our Erev. Our rabbi's on vacation. He'll be with us next week, I believe. But we have Dr. Irwin, and of course, Dina will be acting cantor tonight. And you know, when I joined the temple and they realized that I speak Hebrew, Rabbi Goldfarb asked me to be a lay rabbi once, and he asked me to pick a cantor, and I believe I asked you back then, and that was the first time we shared the pulpit together.
In digging through my music cabinet, I found an old program when we used to have the printed programs of who was on first base. I think it might have dated from that. It was from 1991.
Yeah. Maybe even more than that.
It could have been.
Maybe even more than that. Very good. Well, tonight I'm going to follow our lay rabbi book. I'm going to follow that Sidur, which will, of course, I'll tell you what page number it is in your book. I am not as good as your rabbi. I don't know how to flip those things on the screen, so we're going to have to wait for him to come back to have that. So we're going to do it the traditional way. Yes?
While we're waiting, we need to light that candle and open the ark doors.
That's true. All right, so here, I'm following the instructions. Those were my remarks and greetings.
Thank you.
I did that.
So now it's my turn.
It says opening song.
Yes. So while I'm doing that, if you light the candle and open the ark.
Light the candle and open the ark. Do you need the microphone?
No, I have this.
You want me to go open the ark?
Yes, please. Good idea. Okay. Our opening song tonight is Maya Hayom, which you can find on page 10. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And I forgot one acknowledgement. Shame on me. I forgot to thank our techies tonight, my husband, oops, sorry, honey, and Phil Carey up in the state of Washington. Thank you, as always, for what you do for us.
Okay, at this time, we're going to light the candles, so I will ask Jeff and Sandy Strauss and Carol Brennan to please come to the podium. Excuse me, the bima.
Give them the microphone.
Let's turn it on. Okay, so you're going to all read it together, I guess, right there.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed art you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us to holy acts through mitzvot, and inspires us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
First, we have to light the candles.
This is a fancy one.
There you go.
Guess you light it, just press the button and it goes through. No, I'll light this one. Is this a kosher candle?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Number two.
Which one?
As these
Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stay on, please.
Don't go away, because in honor of these special occasions, we have our world famous Temple Bethor certificates. So I'll start with Kara. This is the day Adonai has made, a day for us to rejoice and be glad. In honor of your birthday, we wish happy birthday to Carol Brennan, God of days and years, author of life. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. We gather today to share in the happiness of Carol Brennan in celebration of her 82nd birthday. May Carol be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. With your presence at her side, May Carol be blessed to see her world in her lifetime. May Carol's heart act wisely, her lips speak wisdom, and her tongue whisper songs. May her vision always be toward the future, her eyes shine with the light of Torah, and her face glow like the splendor of the heavens. May Carol be blessed with wholeness, contentment, and peace, and above all, shalom. Don't go away. And we have certificates. I'll read them jointly. They say the same thing. One for Chris and myself for our 48th anniversary, and one for Sandy and Jeff for their 50th special wedding anniversary. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, Rachel, and Leah, bless Sandy and Jeff Strauss on the occasion of their 50th wedding anniversary, and Chris and Dina Jastrock on the occasion of their 48th wedding anniversary. May the love that binds them continue to be strong and lasting. May their hearts be filled with patience and understanding for one another. May their home continue to be a sanctuary built on devotion to each other and to God, Torah, and Israel. This one's yours. And let us join together in a Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. You may be seated.
You may be seated.
We also have a birthday certificate for Jim Greenspan. Unfortunately, he just missed the whole thing, so I acknowledge your birthday and we'll give you your certificate after the service.
Okay, we're going to read from page 6. We continue on page 6. We entered this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to live of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we are, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its thresholds. We need doubt the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak. Let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. We continue on page 28 with the Baruch. Please rise as you are able for the call to worship. You go on.
La 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 la
We continue responsively on page 9, and I believe you can sit now. Thank you. You're welcome. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. You want me to read that? That's on page 30. Hold on, let me catch it. Baruch atah, this is on top of page 30. I will read in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bedavro ma'ariv aravim, בחכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמורותיהם כרקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoroughly alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Find your place in there. We're up to the Shema. We continue with the Shema on page 34. Please rise as you are able. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. We may be seated. And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And you shall set these words which I command you upon your heart, upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking by the way, and when you lie down, and when frontlets between thine eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Our services continue on the bottom of page 39 as we read responsively. In the world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings may be many and our faults may be great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work of the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Israel. Our services continue at the bottom of page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you, you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us, you shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom alenu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה
We continue on page 46 and rise as we are able for the tefillah portion of our worship service. I'm going to take it with me.
Adonai Sefakai Tiftach Ufi Agite Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher hasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei bneihem, leman shemo be'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshiach u'magin, baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham v'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah, rav lehoshia, morid ha'atah. Mechakel hayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim, yokei haolim, umatir asurim, ומחיה מאמונתו לשני עפר, מחמוך בגבורות ומיתו מעלה, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ונאמנת על החיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye ha'akol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yihallelu ha'selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Please be seated. Our services continues on the bottom of page 55. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arise from the shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shakas Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusion of satisfaction amid at the world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignance rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the wall of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred into action. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Our worship continues on page 57. singing this? Or? No. All right. We read together at the top of the page. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and in our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve and reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, sheotcha levadcha ba'irena avod. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, and let our worship brings us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, sheotcha levadcha ba'irena avod. Our services continues on top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Tasim leolam, retov benenecha levarech et amacha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim.
Friedman, so they read it between the things, right? Okay, our services continue with the Mishabeach, prayers for healing. You may find the words in this prayer on page 253. I invite you to share the name of a loved ones during the musical interlude between the paragraphs.
May the blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Susan DeCash, Mariel Scott.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of courage, and let us say, Amen.
We reach the portion of our services that we're going to do a silent meditation, 1 minute, 1 minute. So, if you want to find God, go inside, okay? Thank you, Cantor Dina Jastra. Thank you, Dr. Irwin. Magic, musical. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, technical team. Chris, thank you. And Phil, can you hear me out there in Washington? I'll assume you do. All right, louder. Don't say something that you don't know. I've prepared something. I mean, I got your attention. I got a huge audience, so what the heck, you know? I decided I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to read to you what the Torah, in a nutshell, this week's portion is about. Then I'll tell you what the Haftorah portion is about, in a nutshell. We're not going to go into deep discussions. And then I'll read to you 1 or 2 poems written by a very special poet. All right. Koreach is in the Torah. It's Numbers 16:1 through 18:32. And Korach incites a mutiny challenging Moses' leadership and the granting of the kehunah, priesthood, to Aaron. He's accompanied by Moses' foes, Datan and Abraham. Joining them are 250 distinguished members of the community who offer the sacred keterot, incense, to prove their worthiness for the priesthood. The earth opens up and swallows the mutineers, and a fire consumes the keterot offerers. A subsequent plague is stopped by Aaron's offering of the keterot. Aaron's staff miraculously blossoms and brings forth almonds to prove that his designation as a high priest is divinely ordained. God commands that a terumah, an uplifting from each crop of grain, wine, and oil, as well as firstborn sheep and cattle, and other specified gifts to be given to the Kohanim, the priests. Those are the guys that ran the temple. That was the Torah portion. Now, Haftorah, some of you know, the legend has it that we have such a thing as Haftorah, or something that follows the Torah, because when we were exiles in Babylon, we were not allowed to practice our religion and we were not allowed to read the Torah. So an alternative reading was read in front of people during their Shabbat or ceremonies. So it's from the book of Samuel's 1, 11:14 through 12:22. And this is what it means in a nutshell. The prophet Samuel, a descendant of Korach, the protagonist of this week's Torah portion, gathers the Jews to firmly install Shaul, or we say Saul, as a king of Israel. During the course of his address to the Jews, he called out, "Here I am, bear witness against me before God and before his anointed, whose ox did I take, or whose donkey did I take, or whom did I rob, or whom did I oppress, or from whose hand did I take a bride?" This echoes Moses' statement in this week's Torah reading, "I have not taken a donkey from a single one of them, and I have not harmed a single one of them." The nation gathers at Gilgal for a second coronation of King Saul, the first one having lacked a convincing consensus. They offer sacrifices and rejoice together. The prophet Samuel then delivers a talk. He asks the people to testify that he never committed crimes against the people, and they confirm. He discusses how God saved and aided them every step of the way and chastises them for wanting a flesh and a blood king. He assures them that God will be with them if they follow in his ways, and of the consequences they will face if they do not follow God's word. To underscore the seriousness of this word, Samuel asks God to send a thunderstorm. Although it was not the rainy season, the Jewish people got the message and asked Samuel to intercede on their behalf and to have the thunderstorm cease. The Haftorah ends with the reassurance, "For God will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, for God has sworn to make you people for himself." So that's the Haftorah. Okay, so I had 3 poems. I think I'll just, oh God, which one do I read? All right, here's one. You ready? If you are reading this, then I am not alone, by David ben Natan Kohen. Sometimes I am all alone. No one is listening. No one cares. Why bother to go on? Everything hurts. I am surrounded by emptiness. No one calls. Everyone is happy, but I am not. I do not know why I feel so alone. I do not want to get up. I do not want to interact. I do not want to be seen. I do not want to see. Life is grim. If I want it dim, the sun blinds me. I hold my breath as long as I can. My body screams, "Breathe. You are not alone." I think I had a few more. I am here. You are not alone. I am here and I need you. I am not alone when you, the divine, are listening. I'm not a sad person, but I put myself in that space. And maybe I've been there one day. I don't know, but I want you to know I didn't read this to you because I'm sad, okay? And I think at the end I try to give hope to people that feel that way. You know what, I'm going to have to read you another one called Happiness, because this apparently is a little sad. I'm so sorry. All right. Happiness by David Ben Atana Kohen. Happiness is for me alone to define. Happiness is waking up to another day. Happiness is overcoming and living with pain. Happiness is the ability to balance sorrow. Happiness is to find joy within. Happiness is feeling that I am on the right path. Happiness is feeling safe. Happiness is being confident. Happiness is believing in myself. Happiness is being able to plan. Happiness is knowing that I can ask for help if I need it. Happiness is having the ability to express myself fully. Happiness is to appreciate all that I have. Happiness is being with those that I love. Happiness is warmth and joy. Happiness is feeling good and satisfied. Happiness is the ability to make people smile. Happiness makes my heart happy. Happiness is being able to share my life with others. Happiness is experiencing and appreciating life's energy. Life is the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is loving and being loved. Happiness is an attitude of gratitude. That's enough for today. All right. At this point, I think we're going to continue our services. And I think we're going to do this. Do you have anything to add for today's Dresh?
No, just thank you, David.
Okay, so I believe we are on page 282. Our services continues with Aleinu in the middle of page 282. Please write as you are able for the adoration. I am so sorry, it's on page 282. Page 282, and please rise if you can.
Sorry, too high for me.
I can't sing that.
My voice has gone away, I apologize.
Not yet. Okay. Our thoughts now turn to those who live in our hearts and memories. The words to our Kaddish can be found on 284. I'm going to read it. I'm following.
Come on, Ellie.
Okay, so these are the names on the Shiva, the Shloshim, the last 30 days. We have Lenny Lightman, the stepfather of Shari Rosen. Tim Mariquez, brother of Joe Manriquez. Harleen Brew, friend of Sandy Block. Stefan Z. Levoot, brother of Ted Levoot, uncle of Howard Levoot. Mark Lightman, step-brother of Shari Rosen. Okay, now we're going to do the yard site, which is, I believe, the last year, right? Barnett Benjamin, grandfather of Marcia Bronstein. Harold Kaminsky, father of Barbara Kaplowitz. Dr. Harry Diamond, great-uncle of Ted Levoot and great-uncle of Howard Levoot. Bruce Lee Shine. David Yellen, grandfather of Stephen Weiss. Marjorie Lorber, aunt of Penny Levoot. Ann Lieb, aunt of Terry Levoot, great-aunt of Howard Levoot. Alan Silverman, stepfather of Stephen Grossman. Henry Bluestone, uncle of Ted Levoot, great-uncle of Howard Levoot. Albert Abraham Hanan. Kitty Goldpaint, niece of Fran Benevisti. Golda Schwartz, aunt of Sandra Gellamini. Lawrence Ivan Ganson. Minnie Klevinsky. Frances Gordon, aunt of Sandra Gellamini. And William Babroff, the father of Karen Youngman. The Kaddish Litz is Vicky Emery, Sheldon Zinberg, Evelyn Levine, Gloria Austin, Dee Dee Ginter, Dorothy Bernard, Molly Shartoff, Erica Cherie Barnes, Kyle Goldstein, Craig Wilford, Joyce Alberry, Fred Fink, Ralph Goldstein, Marvin Asness, Joel Jaffe, Norma Leapy, Claire Phillips, David Kaplan, Helene Lieberman, Laura Cutler, Marty Hershowitz, Dottie Roth, and Gerald Kramer. In addition, we acknowledge the sacrifices of the men and women of our armed forces who gave their lives for our country and those who have given their lives for our safety here at home. Members of our police, firefighters, and other first responders, and the members of the IDF who have given their lives in defense of Israel. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be a blessing. If there's a loved one that you're remembering, please recite their names now.
Carrie Mahan, Robert James Mahan, and Kimmy Mahan.
Okay. יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנושא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. May all of us who mourn and all of us who are bereaved, may we find through God's presence comfort, hope, and shalom, peace. And
We do the Kiddush.
we do the Kiddush now?
We do the Kiddush.
So we have the wine here.
Yes.
All right, we're going to do the Kiddush now. And
Hand me a cup.
bread too. We do it
Yes,
here now.
that's after the closing song.
Do you have your wine?
Yeah.
I do? Yeah. You guys will get wine in a few minutes, okay? Nah. Okay, well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei ציוונו, בשבת קודשו, באהבה ורצון הנהילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. קיבלנו ברכה, אותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנהלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Sweet. And I think the last thing we do before we go dancing, right? Is we're gonna cut the bread together.
No, we're going to do a closing song.
Oh, then we're gonna do a closing song.
Got to get my last chance in here. Our closing song will be Aseh Shalom.
I guess we can all hug and get together and.
Aseh Shalom, Shalom bimrama. Aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'meru amen. Yaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, amen, amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimramav, Yaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'meru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, amen.
And I think
And now-
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Oh,
We're
now
gonna do
a
we're gonna
motzi.
motzi, so we don't have to do it there. So we're gonna do it right now, and we'll be done. Calm down, everybody. Calm down.
Take one and I'll get one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. See you in the social hall. Maldino?